Welcome everyone. In this tutorial we will be navigating basic menus in web accounting. Initially visit the login page, and use the IMS software provided username and password to sign in. Once you've successfully logged in, you'll be directed to the main screen of IMS software. This is where you can view different menus of the application. After installation, it is always recommended to re-verify your fiscal year and branches for smooth operation, so let's check these details one by one. Firstly, this icon indicates the existing fiscal year. It has been set while installing the software. If the current fiscal year is not displayed as per your requirement, then you can contact us through IMS support. Whereas this icon indicates your current logged-in branch, to verify the branches, click on this icon and view the list for the required branch. If the branches doesn't exist as per your requirement, then you can contact us through IMS support. After that, the search box. This feature allows you to search for specific submenus with the software quickly. This saves time and effort compared to manually searching through the different menu options. After that, let's look into this icon, from where you will be able to change your password, and sign out from the software. Initially, let's talk about all menus under the dashboard, where the business flashcard displays a summary of major indicators of the business and its performance, which include income and expenses. In IMS software, mostly dashboard data are loaded on the basis of selected date under the business flashcard. Let's look into each box and figures one by one. At first, total receipt. It refers to the total amount of money received within a selected date. Now we have the total receivable, which includes the net receivable amount from the transacted voucher from sales as of the selected date. The total expenses. This section includes the debited sum of all direct and indirect expenses of a selected date. Now let's look at the total payment. This section will display the total value of payment that is saved on a selected date. After that, the total payable. This section includes the net payable amount from the transacted voucher from purchase as of the selected date. Now let's look at cash in hand. This section will display the summary of the cash account that is created in Account Master under the cash group. After that, we will look into this VAT section. It will display the total amount of VAT from purchases and sales of the selected date. Now the total income. The data in total income will be displayed from the credited sum of all the direct and indirect income of the selected date. At last, cash at bank. This section will display the available balance of the bank under assets. After that, let's look at this debtors and creditors figure, which will display the total closing balance of debtors and creditors. If you hover your mouse cursor over the figure, then it will display the data accordingly. Now if you scroll down, then you will be able to view two figures. At first, we will look at the income and expenses graph. It will display the data of income and expenses according to month and year wise. The graph is separated by two distinct colors. At last, let's look at receive and payment graphs. It will display the comparison between the receive and payment amount of the selected month. You can also view the data accordingly to the month and year wise. So, furthermore, we will cover the software's working flow, in which we will first create the master accounts, then we will perform the opening of those accounts. Following that, we will conduct the transactions with the ledger account, and finally we will look into the report of the transactions. Now that we have completed the dashboard section, we'll go to the menu bar and look at the mostly used menus. At first, let's look at the configuration menus, which help you to create and manage the user. Simply click on this menu and the sub-menu, which is User Manager, will be displayed. It will allow you to create users and assign roles, and provide rights according to your requirement. After that, let's start with the financial account, which manages financial transaction and accounts. It is used to record and track financial transactions and activities. It contains several submenus that allows users to perform various financial activities such as creating and managing accounts. At first, master entry. This menu allows users to create and manage different types of accounts ledger. Now account master. It is also known as a chart of accounts, where we will create all kinds of assets, expenses, and income. Now let's look into the second submenu, which is the party master. It allows you to add and manage the information of your suppliers and customers. You can add new parties, modify their details, and disable them as needed. You can also assign unique codes to each party for easy reference and identification. After that, let's look at the cost center. It is created to separate costs as per the required unit. It might be department cost, project cost, etc. Similarly, let's look at the subledger. It refers to the subsidiary ledger which is used to record transactions in detail. Now, party category master. It is a grouping of customers and suppliers that will be used in the debtors and creditors report. After successfully creating the necessary masters, we will perform an opening entry of those ledger accounts. Now, opening entry is the first step in setting up the accounts for a new accounting period, and it ensures that the balance of the account is carried forward correctly from the previous period, or the closing balance available starting date of the software installation could also be the source of the opening entry. Likewise, let's look into the sub-menus of opening entry, starting with ledger opening balance. It is used to update the opening balance to all the ledger which is created under the account master. Now, if you press the control button on your keyboard, the other two buttons will be displayed. From the first button you will be able to load the opening balance from the previous fiscal year, and from the second button you will be able to import the opening balance of the account from the Excel sheet. After that, we will look into the party opening balance. It is used to update the opening balance of all the party which is created under the party master. After entering the opening balance of the ledger and party account, we will look into the menus of the transaction, starting with the accounting voucher. Now, an accounting voucher refers to a document to record the financial transaction. Additionally, let's look into other sub-menus of the accounting vouchers. Every sub-menus of the accounting voucher is the type of journal voucher. It is divided in other menus for the user convenience. At first, journal voucher. It is a type of accounting voucher used to record non-cash transactions. It is typically used for internal purposes to make adjustments in the accounting records. Similarly, let's look at the contra voucher. It is a type of accounting voucher that is used to record the transaction involving the transfer of cash between bank to bank account, cash account to cash account, and cash to bank account of the same company. After successfully creating a contra voucher, now we will look into the payment voucher. A payment voucher is used to keep a record of the payments made to the suppliers. If you look in the voucher type, then there are three different types of voucher. First one is expense voucher. By selecting expense voucher, you will be able to select all the account ledgers that were created in the account master. Secondly, party payment. It will allow you to select only customers or supplier that were created from the party master. And at last, mixed payment. It will allow you to select both the account ledger and party ledger at same payment voucher. Now let's look into receipt voucher. It is used to record what has been received as part of a transaction from customers. Now, debit note amount base. It is used to reduce the account payable balance for a particular supplier. For example, if a company receives a 20% turnover discount after purchasing 50,000 from the supplier, here the 20% of discount is booked through a debit note amount base. Similarly, credit note amount base. It refers to the account that is used to record the transactions to credit notes. For example, a company has to provide a 10% turnover discount to customers annually after the customer achieves an assigned turnover of 10,000. Here the 10% of discount is booked through a credit note amount base. After that, capitalized purchase voucher. It is used to record all the assets, expenses, and other non-trading purchase transaction. Please keep in mind that the transaction of debit note account base, credit note account base, and capitalized purchase voucher is included in VAT reports accordingly. At last, a post-dated check voucher is a type of voucher used in accounting to record a payment that will be made at a future date. Now, from this voucher type you can select whether a check needs to be paid to a supplier or to be received from the customer. You will be able to load the post-dated check voucher in payment and receipt voucher. For now, we will look at the payment voucher, and press Shift on your keyboard. You will be able to view the post-dated button, from where you will be able to load the check voucher that are left to be credited. The same process applies to the receipt voucher. Now let's look into sub-menus of the utilities. At first, bank reconciliation. It is the process of comparing the transactions recorded in a company's bank statement with the transactions recorded in the company's own book records. This process will help to find the difference between the amount that is available in the bank statement and the book statement. Now let's look at party reconciliation. It involves comparing the transactions recorded in the ledger report generated by the system and the report that is provided by the party. At last, party balance confirmation. It is a tool that displays the taxable, non-taxable and VAT balance of customer and supplier over the selected period. After completing the financial account, we will look into the report of that ledger account. Now let's look at another menu, which is the financial report. Here you will be able to view the report of all the account that you have performed. We will start with the sub-menus of the financial report, which is ledger report. It provides a detailed summary of all the transactions of account group and party group. So now we will open the account ledger report. You will be able to view the transactions report of the ledger account that you have created under Account Master. Select any account and view the report as per your requirement. You can also use these options to reload the report, and download the report in Excel sheet, change the report format, view report list, and save it in zip file. After that, we will look into the party ledger report. You will be able to view the transaction report of all the customer and supplier account. Select the account and view the report as per your requirement. So after that, we will look into another sub-menu, which is debtors and creditors report. It displays the amount of money owed to the business by its customers, which is debtors, and the amount of money that the business owes to its suppliers, which are creditors. We will look into the creditors report and view the report of all the suppliers' account transactions that we have performed. Similarly, now we will open the debtors report and view the report of all the customers' account transactions that we have performed. Let's look at the next menu, which is the register and book report. It is used to view all the vouchers that are created by the system. At first, the voucher register report. You will be able to view the report of all the transacted vouchers. Secondly, cash and bank report. It will provide a statement of cash and bank transactions that you have performed. The main purpose of the cash and bank book report is to view the summary of the closing balance of cash and bank group. Now we will look into the day book report. It will display the record of all the transactions that you have made during each day. At last, a post-dated check voucher report. It will display a report of all the outstanding checks that are yet to be cashed, and checks will be cashed in the future accordingly. Similarly, let's look at the trial balance. The purpose of a trial balance is to ensure that all entries made into a company's general ledger are properly balanced. A trial balance lists the opening, running and closing balance of each general group or ledger account. You can also use this option to view the report either in an account group-wise or in ledger-wise report. After that, the final report. The final report in IMS software refers to a comprehensive financial report that summarizes the financial performance and position of a business at the end of a specific accounting period, such as a fiscal year. Now let's look at the sub-menus of the final report. At first, profit and loss. It will display the profit or loss amount of the ledger that are created under master account. At last, balance sheet. It is a report that provides the balance or closing amounts of a fiscal year. It specially reflects the balance between assets and liabilities. We sincerely hope that watching this video helped you to navigate through basic menus and the workflow of web accounting. Please watch our other tutorial for detailed information. If you have any queries, you can always reach out through IMS support.